So weird. I'm not even going to touch it. But I do have a confession to make. I did something really stupid this week. I went for a hike that I ought not to have gone on. Some of you have gone up the Cadence River waterfalls. Usually you go, and by this time of year the water's barely a trickle, and you can climb up. It's a little more slippery this time of year, but it's, it's all right, and you can go and so I was going to go with a group, and then it turned out to be just one other person, and I thought, we can do this, and the water, it's rained a lot this summer, so the water was running really hard, and it was really slippery. And I kind of fell down the waterfall. I almost really fell down a really, really high water. I assured the person I was with that I could do last rites, but that didn't seem to come at all. And I was hurting. I am still hurting. I will ask you to be careful with me during the piece. Is there no balm in Gilead, I might ask myself? Is there not a doctor in the house? Now, I tell you this story not just so that you will question my leadership abilities as your priest, but, there's no magic. All of you know this. When you hurt yourself, it takes a while. I'm not bending very easily at the moment. Healing takes time. We want shortcuts. We want magic. We want easy answers. And in the book of Jeremiah, God's people have largely turned away from God. They're worshiping idols. They're ignoring the covenant. Because idols are way easier than the living God. With an idol, you offer X to this thing you can see, and it's easy. The living God is way harder. Because the living God will not let you alone. With the living God, you can't just put some money on the plate or show up on Sunday once a month or try to think good thoughts about people. God will call you to more. God will pull you outside your comfort zone and demand that you love those who you would prefer to either ignore or dislike. Jeremiah is known as the weeping prophet, and we see that in our passage today, don't we? The job of the prophet and the preacher is to comfort the uncomfortable and to disturb the comfortable. To speak truth to power, but also to speak to the suffering and weak, to those who are self-satisfied. And too often preachers turn this around. We like to comfort the comfortable. It's tempting. And I think one of the reasons mega churches are so successful is that they make people comfortable instead of uncomfortable. They say, sure, get all the wealth you want. God wants you to be rich. God wants to heal you magically. You're full of self-interest? Hey, no problem. Don't worry about racism, poverty, immigrants. Let's sing that praise song again. But Jeremiah, you notice in this passage, he seems to feel the pain of all who are involved. He feels the pain of the people. If you look at this passage, he says, my joy is gone, grief is upon me. Hear the cry of my poor people. He seems to hear the cry of God saying, why are my people so hard for me? He feels for everyone. He identifies with it all. His care for people is heart-rending. And that's really hard. I have a number of friends who are pastors, priests, and preachers who have found that keeping an open heart and speaking truth is just too hard. If you always tell people what they want to hear, you'll be popular. If you speak with a prophetic voice, it hurts. Because it calls for heart-rending care. It calls us to speak truth in love. Who would take this on? I gotta tell you, there are times when I wish that I was still an English professor. It was way easier. You can mark somebody's paper, you can write better than this and use more of a variety of sentence structures and blah, blah, blah. it's not at anything like that same level. Being open-hearted and yet speaking truth in love is tough. And I'm speaking as priest and preacher here, but as a ministry-centered church, this should be hard for all of us. When we say ministry-centered church, what we mean is we're not priest-centered. We don't expect this one person to do everything, to run around and make everything right, to bring the tough words. We expect all of us to be doing this together. We're meant to be taking responsibility for words and actions, speaking truth in love, identifying with people's pain. We're meant to be calling out the best in each other, assuming the best in each other. This is our calling in a ministry-centered church. This is the calling of the baptized. So Jeremiah ends with these questions. He says, is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no healing? Is there a doctor in the house? Is there hope? You know, Gilead, it's interesting, was known for its healing balm. It was really transported all over the known world at the time. So it was a medical and commercial reality. It was known for its ability to heal wounds and to keep them from infection. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no healing? This is what the prophet says here. Is there no hope? And the answer, I think, is yes. There is healing, but it's not easy. It's not cheap. When we think of the song that we'll sing later, There's a Balm in Gilead, that was written by slaves. It was not written as kind of a, there's a balm in Gilead, yeah. It was sung through their blood, sweat, and tears. Yes, there's a balm in Gilead. But it's not easy. I'm going to be living with these bruises for a while. I'm lucky there are no broken bones. There's a balm in Gilead, there's healing, there's hope. But at convention, Lee and I just went to, we discussed racism, heard about years of pain. There's no easy fix. There's no easy fix to the problem with these Syrian refugees. What about the pain we've caused Native brothers and sisters? What about the divisions in our country at the moment? What about the ravages of colonialism? What about our own laziness, our own willingness to point fingers at others and not take responsibility? We would just love a magic balm, wouldn't we, for all of this? A healing ointment that we could just kind of go, there goes racism, there goes the immigrant problem. But instead we're called to be more like Jeremiah. Look at people with heart-rending care. Climb outside our mindset and see the good in them. I don't know about you, but there are times in these whole political campaign where I have been tempted to think, when I hear someone, I think, idiot. And it seems to me that what Jeremiah calls me to do, what God calls me to do, is to think, gosh, why is this person so scared? Why do they seem to feel so left out? What's going on? In other words, to push a little surface. Spiritual, yes, there is a balm, a healing ointment. Sometimes I think maybe what we need more is something like my son Stephen is having, which is every 2 weeks chemo. Something that we realize we have to just keep applying and applying. Strong medicine that will be on for the rest of our lives. Because I think we are called to be that balm, that healing ointment. We're called to look at people with this heart-rending